5-minute meditation. Welcome to Sacred Segments, everybody. So I want to speak very, very briefly on what happened to me today. So I went to the knee specialist early this morning before 9, which is really too early for me, but never mind. And she said to me, she was from China and she was really holistic. And she said, don't tell anybody that I said this, but I want to tell you about MCT oil, which is from coconuts, right? And apparently it's got all of these amazing health benefits. And we also spoke about hyaluronic acid in injection form, which I'm not very into, and also MSM. But all of these things help cartilage and sinew and bone. And I've posted on the Sacred Segments Facebook, but I recommend anybody that's suffering with any kind of joint pain, inflammation, have a look into those 3 things: MCT oil, hyaluronic acid, and MSM. Of course, there are amazing essential oils that you can use, like turmeric and frankincense. And Ellie is a master in all of these. So if you have questions in the future about any kind of essential oils, Ellie is definitely your person. Welcome, Carl.
Hi.
Good to see you. I also want to speak very briefly about when I was choosing a card from the Abraham deck for this session. I chose this, which says, I cannot create in the experience of another, which reminded me that we are all on this journey for ourselves. And as much as we want to be selfless, giving beings of light and love, which we are, if we can manifest our true destiny and be joyful, then we can be that light, as Ellie has that word on there. It's also reminding me. And when you pick a card from a deck, sometimes another one falls out as well. The other one was about the law of attraction in general, and it says the law of attraction is my life's basis, and it's the basis of our experience and an understanding of living our life on purpose. And in fact, understanding the law of attraction is essential to living the life of joy that we came forth to live. And isn't that the key? Joy. Like, if we can be joyful, isn't that what life is all about? It's extracting the joy wherever we can. And also, I wanted to say that there were 3 cards from a completely other deck that shouldn't have been in the deck, which were the warrior, the beggar, and God. Strangely, which reminded me of our warrior-like nature, living in this material world. Beggar being that we have to ask to receive. And God, which is our essential nature, our divine light. And it's that word again. It's obviously the word of the evening. So intentions. I want to quickly go around the group, say your name and set an intention. I'm going to start, and you obviously know my name, Alexis. My intention is to use the power of my mind to override other people's ideas and to live the life that I was born to live. Anna.
My name is Maya. Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay. I'll come to you. Anna.
Okay, my intention is to live my life as much as possible in a state of ease, joy, love, and abundance.
Thank you, Anna. Chris.
My intention is open my heart and my mind to get out of my own way to receive abundance and plenty, especially financially.
Thank you. Ellie.
My intention is always, how can I best serve my incarnation so that I can serve the sacred?
Beautiful. Thank you. Maya.
My intention is to keep fighting, keep standing up for myself and the real me, to bring what I have to bring to this and us.
Thank you. Denise.
Sorry, the dog's barking as usual.
Oh, you're muted.
My intention is to treat myself with the highest significance.
I think your dog agrees.
Yeah. Well, he wants to be the most significant, but
Thank you.
Mm.
Carl.
My intention is to strive to maintain connection and alignment with the divine source and light so that it can flow through me and guide me along my path as it should be, as things should be.
Thank you, Carl. It's lovely to be here with everyone and great to see you all. Chris is going to lead us in a short 5-minute meditation. So let's just take a breath and then I'll ask Chris to take over. Go ahead, Chris.
As it's the opening meditation, it's time to open to a sense of stillness within our own person, our own being. And it may seem strange to say close your eyes, but to close your eyes is to open to the inner realms of potential, of miraculous, and of our own energy. To open up to the light and the darkness within, to the balance of all things. To open as a flower opens to blossom. To open to what nature brings in order for it to survive and to grow and to thrive. To go with all elements. And as the flower opens and thrives and grows, and the seasons change, we open to that change along with the seasons. And eventually, the flower changes and becomes its transformed self as the fruit, and contained within this special fruit, the seed. And as the seasons move forward again, we open up and set free the seeds of potential, of hope, of dreams. And we release the seed to blow on the winds, to fall where it will, with the intention behind it to become the best that it can possibly be. And we open more, again to the elements and the winds, to the rains, to the darkness and the light, the passing seasons, the bright, bright sun, the gentle flowing moon, the bright, bright stars. And we center within ourselves for a moment, just within the energies of all of these energies, the energies of all of these potentials, and the energies of our own flow, as we connect with every living being, as we are all one. As we connect, we open our meridians to flow freely, to heal, to grow. We open our heart to connect emotionally. We open our mind to open intellectually. We open our soul and our spirits to go beyond, yet we are grounded within this physical vehicle that we inhabit in what we call this lifetime. Sit silently for a minute now. Open your lungs to take a deep breath. Open your belly to allow it to deepen and sink into the core of your body. And open your mind to the potential that you are fully protected and safe in this space as we step forward in our journey in this life. And of course, in the next few seconds, open your eyes to join with the rest of us here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was very
Okay.
What a beautiful voice, Chris. Thank you.
I really could feel your gentle spirit, and there was a beautiful vulnerability, which was also a strength, about your energy, which is just glorious. Thank you. That was gorgeous. I would like to very briefly read a very, very short quote from Helena Blavatsky, who was the founder of the Theosophical Society. I was researching the law of attraction's origin, and it goes back to Helena Blavatsky. And it's a very short quote which says, "The universe is worked and guided from within outwards. What writes history is the power of ideas, and every moment offers the potential to write something new, just like the seeds in our meditation." So when I was thinking about this session, as last time the Archangel Cassiel's name came to me, and I looked into the qualities of the Archangel Cassiel, and one of the qualities is that Cassiel accompanies people that are in solitude. So if you're ever alone and you need an extra boost, call on the Archangel Cassiel to accompany you, and you won't be alone. And the other angel's name that came to me was the Archangel Sandalphon. Sandalphon, among many other things. The Greek word means like a brother, San Adalphon, and he is said to carry our prayers to heaven. But this is the part that I wanted to share with you. It's for people that are looking for a partnership, and that could be a business partnership or a relationship. So this Archangel Sandalphon helps people to find other people that match their aura or vibration. Very useful, right? So let's call on the Archangel Sandalphon to help all of those that are seeking to find their other halves, or the people that they need to meet in business, which of course we will naturally be attracted to and we will naturally draw to us. Paul isn't with us, so if you're happy to go early, Ellie, I'm going to ask you to do that.
Of course. And can you just remind me on my timings?
Yes, you have anywhere between 15 and 25 minutes and 5 minutes Q&A.
Lovely. Okay, wonderful. Shall I kick off?
Please do.
Okay, well, thanks everyone so much for receiving me today. A little bit about me in the context of what I thought would be cool to do tonight is I am a teacher of energy alchemy, and my passion is to demystify and sort of take the woo-woo out of energy alchemy and to ground it into the practical and the concrete, because truly the day that I realized how practical energy alchemy was and started applying it to my day-to-day life is when everything changed. And typically I work with founders, leaders, service-based entrepreneurs. And I noticed that one of the most common themes, and certainly one that I've gone through many times, is that people who express their genius in service to the whole, much like yourselves, I'm sure, often struggle with having healthy boundaries with their clients, with their communities, with their friends, family, etc., etc. And I remember Alexis telling me years ago, well, you need to practice energy hygiene. And I knew cognitively, I knew instinctively he was right. Cognitively, I understood. Mentally, I would sometimes go through these sort of very basic energy hygiene practices, but it wasn't until I implemented a daily energy housekeeping practice myself that I realized fundamentally how boundaries really, although they're intangible and you can't see them, they're a perfect example of how our energy bodies and the integrity of the juncture of our energy body really informs our experience of life. And so one of my favorite things to do is just to use a very simple energy alchemy technique to repair the integrity of your boundary. And really, you know, your boundary is simply, where do you end and where does the rest of the world begin? And, you know, I always say to my clients, if you stretch your arms out, you know, approximately this is the boundary of your energy body, although you can expand it and you can contract it at will. But let's say ballpark. And anything that happens inside of this boundary, anything within your inner kingdom, within your energy body, is under your jurisdiction and is your kingdom, and you are the ruler of that kingdom. And anything that happens outside of that boundary is not under your jurisdiction, is not your responsibility, and we don't have control over. But I found that the most liberating and empowering truth when I truly discovered that anything inside the boundary of my energy body, I have complete and utter jurisdiction over. And this is the basis of our human power. Our power as human beings is that we are able absolutely to dissolve energy patterns that don't belong to us, to transmute energy patterns. We can do all of these things, anything that exists in the boundary of our energy bodies. And so this is really one of my passions, is kind of connecting people to their innate power and teaching them practical techniques on how they can work within the boundary of their energy body to bring more of themselves into form. So to be more of yourself. And to me, what does being more of myself means? It simply means it's an alchemical process. How can I make more space for myself in my boundary, in my energy body? How can I bring more of my soul into form? How can I bring more of my core essence into form? And so I thought we could move through just a very gentle, very foundational practice, which you can then use going forwards to just help establish your boundary when you're out and about, when you're in a conversation with somebody, when you're with a client, when you're walking through a busy street, and how you can instinctively sense into the integrity of that boundary and how you can repair it. And how, if you do this on a regular basis, the results are truly extraordinary. They are absolutely extraordinary. You can create so much stillness, so much space. You can release and dissolve anything that doesn't belong to you. And then you can fill that space with more of yourself. And the more you can fill your space with more of yourself, the more you will inhabit your place in the world. And then you're in right relationship with the world around you. You're truly in right relationship with the world around you, which in turn leads to an expansion of your power. It means you can make things happen. You can create the things that you want to create. And you have this magnificent level of clarity because you've quite literally made more space for yourself and become more of yourself energetically. Does that make sense to everybody? Does anyone want to ask any questions before we move into a little practice? All good? Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, Chris, yeah.
Can I just ask, I say abundance and plenty, I'm fine energetically. For all of my entire life, it's the financial that I don't allow energetically. And I know I'm blocking myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I've worked on it for 30 odd years, but it's not shifting.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Well, I understand completely. I resonate with a lot of that story. And energy alchemy has been the missing piece of the puzzle for me. I've been a spiritual seeker for 15 years. I've done all the things that we probably all have done, you know, written love letters to money, mantras, affirmations. I've studied spiritual texts. I've done everything you could possibly think of to improve my toxic money story, because believe me, I have them. And actually, what I've realized is that because I wasn't aware of the fact that I was able to release energy patterns that don't belong to me, I was wasting a lot of my time and energy on trying to process stuff that isn't mine to process. And not only is it not our responsibility, but we can't process other people's patterns. So I feel like even today's really simple exercise could be a game changer for you if you committed to that on a daily basis, because what you would be doing is you would be clearing away, dissolving, transmuting patterns, you know, which, for example, a limiting belief or a story that you pick up from cultural conditioning or from your community, karmically, ancestrally, genetically. You know, there are like hundreds of portals through which stories and limiting beliefs and agreements that we make, you know, there are so many forms of intricate ways that sort of tangible money codes show up. And so many of them are not ours. And unless we actually learn how to take them out and get rid of them, and then to fill the space that we've made with more of our own soul essence, it's just like a constant washing machine. You basically can't really, you can never work through a pattern that doesn't belong to you. So just a simple energy hygiene practice means that whatever is left is yours to process, and you just have a lot more space and clarity to do it then. And then you can then apply much more refined energy alchemy techniques to actually reprogram and untangle whatever energy patterns are left.
Thank you.
Yes, Anna.
Yeah, real quick. That totally resonates with me because I'll just share this really quick. When I moved to Spain in 2014, I came in a state of real abundance, the most abundant I've ever had in my life. And I just was in this state of just felt limitless abundance. However, Spain has the incredible poverty consciousness. And it's not a poor country. They'll tell you it's poor. It's not. And it's like being surrounded by people constantly saying, talking that way, it over the years steadily just chipped away and really affected me. So I completely hear you. What you're saying, it totally resonates with me because I experienced that here. And when I tell people it's where I live, that it just keeps hearing the same types of stuff over and over again, being in that energy, how could it not affect me? And it's not mine. It's not. So thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Absolutely. Yep, Alexis, you had your hand.
Yes, I just wanted to say that I come from a very wealthy family. However, I was cut off from my family, and yesterday I had a session with the last guest on Sacred Segments who reads the Akashic Records. And I, like you, have done a lot of work on myself with cutting cords, clearing the past, attracting money. And I know that I'm a master manifestor, and when it counts, things show up out of nothing. However, I have a constant experience of poverty. And, despite that, I know that I can manifest. During my session yesterday, I was told by this person, Krishna Saroy, who reads the Akashic Records and read mine, that I have a past life 6 lives ago as a Franciscan monk who took a vow of poverty. Now, I've cleared that consciously in a meditation, but apparently, according to him, that it's still very, very active in this life. And on some level, I'm not accepting the abundance. So my question is, how can I use that information but disregard it and embody that which you speak of? Because I resonate with everything that's been said as well.
Yeah, and it's a really good question because that's a different thing of, Anna, who's literally like bombarded with stories, beliefs, let's just call everything an energy pattern, patterns that don't belong to her. That's a case of literally washing your hands, cleaning those out, and then filling the space you've made with your own core energy. What do you do when you have a samskara or let's say, an aspect of your soul that you're here to learn that lesson? It does belong to you. So you need to use different techniques in that case, where you're then going into these energy patterns and they are yours to process. So then it's a much more nuanced process, which you can kind of address in so many different ways. You can address it somatically, you can address it energetically, you can use symbols. I mean, symbols I have found for my own money reprogramming, I worked really closely with the symbol that my soul showed me, and I literally put it into places in my body where I felt somatically that there were patterns that contained like my own money wounds, and I just reprogrammed them. And I haven't even scratched the surface, but it's made me realize over the last few years how powerful we are, how we have the complete ability to go into our bodies, our energy bodies, and to heal absolutely everything in there. And you might think, oh my God, how do I even begin to do that? I believe that even having the basic tools, which is my life's purpose at this point, to teach people the basic tools, means that if you commit to them and you spend time every day, closed eye practice, just like Chris said, exploring your inner world, you start you pick up and you start to develop your own ways of doing it. So long as you have imagination, intention, curiosity, and then you can work out all sorts of sequences in order to do it. It just takes practice, but yes, like we can do it. That's what we're here for. We're human beings. We have human bodies, and our bodies are just our soul made flesh. So your physical body has all the capacities of your soul. It's just learning how to work with it in the same way that you work with your soul in the subtle realms. Okay, let us make the most of the time. And what I'll bring us through is a truncated practice, but I definitely advise you to take the sort of core elements of it, which I'll review at the end, and to take loads of time with it. But we'll just do like the short version, just because I know that we don't have a lot of time. Okay, so get really comfortable, close down your eyes. Luckily, this is a group who knows how to center and presence themselves. So I'm just going to ask you to just bring your awareness right into your body, into the here and now. Take a deep breath in just to really anchor yourself in your body. And as you breathe out, the first part of the practice is we're going to ground. So just drop a grounding cord from your first chakra all the way down into the very center of the earth, right into the heart of the earth. Like really intend to embed that grounding cord into the purest center of the earth. And make sure that the other end is really embedded into the heart of your first chakra. And you can give it a tug at either end. And then just allow earth energy to begin to flow up this grounding cord and to fill your first chakra. And you can play with the width of this grounding cord. You can extend it, make it as wide as your hips. Notice what that feels like when you do this in your own practice. You can condense it and make it really thin and like really potent. Just settle on a width that feels perfect for you. And just completely relax and just allow earth energy to flow up and to fill your first chakra. And just remember that the earth is an essential part of your incarnation. You wouldn't be here without the loving participation of the earth. And so earth energy is a very natural energy to work with. And remember that the earth is able to sustain all life forms effortlessly and perfectly, and that includes you and your prosperity. And so we're directing that energy into our first chakra because this really is the engine room of our existence. And then your first chakra in turn distributes that earth energy around your body in a ratio that is bespoke for you at this moment in time, and it really addresses the needs of your energy body. So just focus on allowing as much earth energy into your first chakra as is needed. So that's the first step. The second step is to bring your awareness up to the crown of your head to your seventh chakra. From here, allow a grounding cord to travel up right into the heart of the cosmos. And like really intend for that grounding cord to travel right into the center of the cosmos. So the point from which all creation emanates. And remembering that the cosmos is an essential part of your incarnation too. And is one of the most key loving allies in your life. And so just allow cosmic energy, which is clear gold light, to flow down this grounding cord to fill your seventh chakra. And cosmic energy has different qualities to earth energy. And the more time you spend kind of playing with cosmic energy and noticing its qualities, the more you'll understand its capabilities in your energy body. And so you're going to direct that flow of clear gold light down the back of your spine, on the meridians on either side, and allow it to fill your first chakra, to mingle with earth energy. And once again, remember that you don't need to pull or push the energy, because there's no effort in the realm of energy. You're just intending to partner with a flow that is there. And so now, as cosmic energy and earth energy mingle in your first chakra, allow that mixture to travel up the front of your spine, front of your body, up over your head, to gather at your throat, to travel down your arms and out of the palm of your hands. Pay attention to what your palms feel like with this bespoke mix of cosmic and earth energy. Again, it's unique to you. This is your body's natural healing and creative energy. And what you can do is you can create a little dial, like in your mind's eye, and you can like slowly increase at a rate that feels nourishing for you, the rate of earth energy flowing up your grounding cord, because the more that we do this, there's so much clearing that you can run more earth energy. So you just keep kind of topping it up at a rate that instinctively feels appropriate for your energy body. So you're now running these two highly powerful energies through your body, and they are native energies to your body. And they feel so good because they are like the most grounding natural energies that you can run through the body. Like, they will never jar you or frazzle your central nervous system. And they are flowing through and just bringing everything into alignment. And what you can now do, this is the third element of today's practice, is we're going to start bringing more intention into it and allowing it to clean out what doesn't belong to us. So you're going to direct this flow of cosmic energy as it travels around the energy body and the body to clear away and to dissolve anything that does not belong to you. Any energy patterns in the body that are not yours. And you're going to let those flow down your grounding cord back into the earth. And you can ask the soul of the earth to please dissolve and transmute the pattern and the form of anything that you're releasing, and to return it to source. So now you know that this clear gold light mixed with this earth energy, as it moves through the body, and because you've clearly intended it, is clearing away any energy patterns that don't belong to you. And you absolutely have the ability to do this. It is a natural part of your energetic capacity, and is something that you were born to do. So just know that what we do in the energetic realms has instant effect, and it may take a little longer to show up in the 3D, but you're doing it. And there is one more energy that I'm going to ask you to run, which is a really cool one. So from the heart of the cosmos, along with clear gold light, I'm going to invite you to invite present time energy which I like to imagine as silver, to flow down your grounding cord from the heart of the cosmos, down your grounding cord, and like a sticky ball of energy, just imagine it like a French press, and the crown of your head, like rolling all the way through your body and your energy body. Anything that is not in present time, so anything that does belong to you but is from the past or the future and is not true for who you are today. So this can be patterns that were once true for you, limiting beliefs that were once true for who you are, but they don't serve you anymore and they're not true for who you are in this moment. So it's a really beautiful way of just clearing space of old energetic debris. So just allow that to clear away and release down your grounding cord to the earth. You can even run it through your grounding cord to make sure that your grounding cord is in itself in present time. And just know that whatever is left in your energy body, to a lesser or larger degree, is yours and is true for who you are now, and this is where you can invest your time and energy into healing. So the final piece of this practice is, now that we've made space in our energy body, we don't want to leave a void, because the law of physics, because remember, we're just human beings on this earth and we live by the laws of earth, it will just be filled by the clearest, strongest energy. So if you go outside and some asshole walks past you, you're just going to fill up all that space with someone else's energy. So what we do after every energy hygiene practice is we invite our soul's essence. So you can invite your extended soul to flow in through the back of your heart, which is like a hinge between, the physical world and the energetic world. So just invite your soul, your core essence, however you want to call it, to flow in through the back of your heart and to flow through the body and to fill all the space that you've just made. To fill every cell of your body with its frequency and with its love and with the pattern that it holds for the perfect unfolding of your life. So the highest potential, and this is where we can begin to manifest potential within us. So just allow your own core essence, your soul essence, to fill every cell of your body and extending outwards to the boundary of your energy body, so that you can fully inhabit your place in this world, so that you can be more of yourself, so that you can bring more of your soul's pattern into form. So you are alchemically allowing the potential of your soul to play out in your life. And so now you can open your eyes, but just maintain that awareness of your soul and of your energy body and this quality of presence that you've cultivated, noticing how it would feel to have a boundary that you've so clearly defined, and how it would feel to begin to work, for example, with money consciousness from a place or from a presence like this, where you have cleaned so much space out. Thank you for that. It was a very short version, but each one of those elements can be expanded upon, and I hope it's given you something to play with. And I hope you're feeling good. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask.
Thank you, Ellie. That was there's an observation of when running energy. I know when it's very powerful because my head starts to vibrate, and that happens several times during that. So I know that it works. So thank you. That was the only observation. Carl.
Yes, I have a question, because I'm just curious as to why the intention was to initially combine the energies in the root chakra rather than the heart chakra. I've often done kind of an energy exercise where I bring them to the heart chakra and then from there to the rest of the energy body. But it was quite interesting and rewarding to do the root chakra. And I wonder if there's a particular reason why you base it there rather than the heart or any of the other chakras.
Absolutely. It's a really good question, because our chakras, they each have different functions, and they act as sort of, but intermediaries between our outer world and our inner world. And so the heart chakra has its own function, absolutely. And really, each one of us would feel our heart chakra very differently. The root, and it's more about relating to others, the balance between unity and sovereignty. It's wisdom, it's emotion, it's love. When we're working with energy hygiene, we want to go right to the point from which you operate in this life, like your entire existence as a human being, your survival, your health, how much you thrive. And the root chakra, the first chakra, that's the engine room of your existence as a human being. So that anytime you work on the root chakra, on the first chakra, you're immediately influencing all of the other chakras. And it's where so much of your core programming sits. And so, like, for any kind of energy hygiene practice, anything that I want to work systemically, I would always do it there. If I wanted to work specifically with something else, like, for example, if I wanted to do some like self-healing, if I had one of my inner selves, like one of my inner children who was like, help, I may well go here and receive her there. And then I would probably clear this out before I received her. But for like systemic, core programming stuff, especially money consciousness, I would always start at the first chakra.
I think it might be interesting to try the solar plexus and the sacral, given that they're also so fundamental to other ways in which we interact with people and our environment. But as you say, at different levels, might be quite an interesting exercise as well.
Absolutely. I mean, really, you want to, because bear in mind, the first chakra then disseminates the energy through the rest of the body. But there's no question that, like the third chakra, it would be so useful to clean out all the chakras every morning. And certainly with the third chakra, before you have a meeting, or with money consciousness. I mean, there's so many reasons to do it. So yes, I completely agree with you. It's so much fun to explore. And I think it's really good to get used to like sensing into which chakras require attention.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah. I often frequently douse for guidance there with the chakras. So
Oh, I love that.
And are you using a lot of visualization, like the dial, which I loved, and the different visualization of the silver and the different colors. Like, could we, if working, with the different chakras, like Carl suggests, change the visualizations and create, like different things, like a vacuum cleaner, or,
Yeah. Yeah, I remember wondering that myself years ago and being like, does it have to be exactly these things? Because I've learned a lot of what I know from my own teacher. And I remember asking her that same question. And she said to me, it's not that simple. It's more about like once you've really established the building blocks and you really understand the inherent qualities of these energies, you'll naturally figure out ways in which that are effective for you. So yes, absolutely, you can be so creative. You can do the vacuum cleaning, you could do the French press, anything that keeps you connected to the practice, rather than trying to be too intricate and then it kind of pulls you out of your body and it's a pointless. Like if it starts to become mental, it's immediately like a moot point. So I would always choose visualizations that really resonated with me. Yes. But without thinking I have to be too clever or tricksy with it.
Amazing. Thank you. Anybody else have questions?
Yeah, I work with the root chakra as part of my everyday practice, with clients and with myself. Grounding is essential. But what I absolutely loved about this is grounding from the crown chakra into the universe, because I hadn't even thought about it before. And it is just, yeah, of course we're going to ground into it. It doesn't take us away with the fairies. One of the things that a lot of people I come across do is they think meditation is about floating away and being released into everywhere and having these amazing experiences, which is valid. But to ground and to anchor into the space is so important. So thank you for the grounding into the universe. I'd love that. So
And you
definitely.
can, I was going to say also, you can, if you notice you've got a buzzy head, now add in 2 grounding cords from, you know, those occipital like dents in the back of your head.
Yeah.
You can add in 2 more grounding cords there.
Oh, fantastic.
Well as ones from the bottoms of your feet.
Yeah.
And then like I really noticed that helps me like get rid of a lot of that like high frequency buzzy energy in my head when I'm frazzled.
Yeah, because I do the I'm working with somebody at the moment, and I've had to get them to anchor through the feet into the pelvic girdle, as well as into the root chakra. So they've got 3 very, very strong anchors, and that is profound. And I've started getting them to do one from the base of the spine as well as a separate one. So yeah, the anchoring techniques are absolutely amazing. So thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Ellie? Ellie, where can we find your work?
Thank you for asking. So you can read about my work in like more, I write about it in more detail on my website, which is ellieseilern.com.
Could you spell that for us, please?
I sure can, because it's not an easy one. It's in the chat.
Okay, so ELLISEILERN.com.
Yeah. So that goes into some detail. There's a YouTube channel on there. I do little videos. I have an Instagram, which is my name, which is a new account. I do like little things on there. But if you really want to, if you enjoy reading, I do write a newsletter about energy alchemy and practical applications and kind of real life stories of like when I use it and when I mess up and things like that on my newsletter. So that's where you'll read like the most clearly articulated sharings about energy alchemy.
Really appreciate you taking the time to do the session today. Thank you so much. It's always wonderful to see you.
It's such a pleasure. And you know, I actually have to leave because I got it mixed up and I have to leave by 8 would be the dream. So I hate to bid thee farewell, and it's so nice to see all your faces. Carl, are you muted? I don't know if you were saying something. You're just saying bye. And thank you, Alexis. As always, you hold such an incredible space. I mean, you like I want to celebrate you because you've been running this for so long. Like you're so powerful. You're such a powerful human being, and I learned so much from you. So like you're a really big part of why I'm here and why I've gone down the path I have.
Thank you. The feeling's mutual. Love you like a
I
sister.
love you so, I know, I love you so much. And I love all of you and I send you all my love. Have a beautiful evening.
You too. Bye.
Bye,
Thank you.
Bye.
Ellie and I go way back. We have known each other for maybe 15 or 20 years, something like that. Yeah, so she wears many hats, and she used to be the sound engineer for the gospel choir that I sing in, and she used to own a record company. And it's because of her that I work with essential oils. So she taught me all of that. And we used to run groups and workshops together. So we've done a lot together. And I've gone to her home and looked after her dogs. So like there's lots of things that we've done together. Before I move on to ask you, Maya, to lead your segment, I'm going to take the 2 minutes that's left and just speak to you very quickly in these 2 minutes about the animal totems, energy animal totems. And I always pick a card, but for some reason 3 came up from the animal totem deck. And the 3 animals and their energies were the seal, which stands for imagination, the hawk, which is for focus, and the hummingbird, which I particularly love, for joy. So imagination, focus, and joy, which are the essence of creativity, right? So Ellie was guiding us beautifully through using our imagination to create those boundaries. We were using our focus to make that all happen. And the more joyful that we can be, the higher we vibrate and we become more aligned. So let's just remember that everything flows when we allow ourselves to be in that state of flow. And I noticed that all of the cards that I picked were things that were coming up during all of the discussions. You know, your meditation, Chris. You know, everything that Ellie was talking about. There was just so many different synchronicities, and that always leads me to remember that when synchronicities happen, that we're on the right path. And you know, I would like to discuss synchronicities in the future and have a complete session dedicated to synchronicity, because I think it's a very powerful concept and discussion. That leads back to Carl Jung and you know, all of that. But Maya, thank you for being here. I'm intrigued to learn more about your work. Please tell us about what it is that you do. You're muted.
That didn't help. Hello, thank you, Alexis. Hello, everyone. So my name is Maya. Hello. And I do practice hypnosis. And hypnosis is really something fascinating. It is sometimes scary for others, sometimes full of mystical things for others. And still it is an absolute powerful transformational tool. It's actually, I always say, the fastest transformative tool known to mankind, because it has an instant effect, it has a short-term effect, and that is a long-term effect. It's very beautiful, and it's ancient old. It's like the, you know, remember the Sumerians who knitted into the stone plates the information. Hypnosis was mentioned there. So it's ancient technique, still used today, developed, got from so many people. Carl Jung does play a role. You just named him, Alexis, in that. Okay, and now these days it has been gone to many different sections, and people use it for health reasons, for weight loss and weight reduction, and stop smoking is the most known for it. But there is so much more you can do with it. There is the clinical hypnosis, there is the quantum hypnosis, which is not named quantum hypnosis because the name doesn't exist in the 3D world. And I call it also, there is experimental hypnosis, and I practice all of them. And with hypnosis, I speak to people who are not here. I speak to people who are in Madrid. I speak to people who are in America. I speak to dead people. I speak to dead animals, and I envelop a beautiful hypnosis for animals, where I have verbal conversations with animals, where the owner, trainer, rider is actually taking part, and in that time slipping into the animal, feeling, experiencing the sensations, emotions and feelings of the animal. And while we are making a body check, they actually literally can look into the physical of the body. And I have such beautiful results with this. The last 2 dogs were, the animals are never with me at the session. I just work with the person, either with me or online. And 1 dog ate underwear, and that's really dangerous, can be, and bras. Since 10 weeks, he doesn't do that anymore. And the last was very beautiful. There was a dog always waiting in front of the food for someone, the owner, to give the permission for her to eat. And when I talked to her, she said, my former owner, he made me wait. And that is the most horrible feeling. She named sadness, being alone. She named other feelings, but that was the most horrible feeling for her. And she allowed me to take it away. I developed a technique to take these things away. And 2 days later, I got the information from the owner that Kiki, the dog, just starts for eating on her own account. How beautiful is that? So this emotion attached to the horrible experience is just gone. So hypnosis is something really, really beautiful to use. You know, in spiritual form, I do practice higher self hypnosis. People come to me who want to have conversation with their higher self. So I allow the conversation. They give me the questions. I connect with them to the higher self. I ask the question, and it's a bit like channeling, what Carl will do in a moment. But Carl is not in a hypnotic state. You just learn to get back, right, and let it come through. But in this case, and being in hypnosis, because hypnosis is the method, and in hypnotic state, and being in hypnosis is ever so beautiful. It is like the snooze button moment where you just, it's like floating, your body is relaxed, your mind, it's like a journey to the inside. It's so, so beautiful to be in hypnosis. And all the shit you can clear out in the most beautiful state you can be in. What a wonderful combination. And if there is something what wasn't so nice, we need to clear out. We can go then have a real look to where does it come from, but we don't have to. We just clear it out, and good is. And what also is always happening afterwards, we do a cleaning, a healing, and then a filling up. Because one time you're 100%, I take 25, or you allow me to take 25%, what you didn't want anymore, what doesn't serve you, what's your barrier, what you just don't want and want to get rid of. And then we do a little bit of healing, because it inhabits a space in your body. And when this negative emotion, feeling, sensation, whatever it was, it could be like spiky, or it could have been sitting there scratching. So we need a little bit of healing, right? And then it's clear and it's nice, and then you can fill yourself up with what you want. And when you know that, and then we can enhance that even more. And with the next breath you do, it's getting stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And you are experiencing this in hypnosis. You are living this in hypnosis, because it's all so vivid. It is even more focused. It's more real in hypnosis. And then the people lay there and they are smiling in hypnosis because they experience. And then I always say, now put all the new information into your new cells, all into your cells, because let your cells know your new you. And because your cells are listening to you, to every word you say, every thought you have, they react on that. They can make you happy, and they can also make us sick, psychosomatic, and they can make us heal. So beautiful. And there's so much to do and so much to talk. And I would like to give you now the opportunity to rather have a little bit of a Q&A question, if there are any, because I have another few moments time. So if there is any questions for now, please. Or not.
I have two questions. First of all, I want to say how excited I am to learn that you do quantum hypnosis. Because I recently joined quite a few quantum hypnosis Facebook groups to ask if there are any quantum hypnosis teachers to come onto Sacred Segments. And to learn that you do it, it's another synchronicity, which I'm really excited about. I didn't know that you did that. So I just wanted to say that and ask you, would you please come back in the future and do a segment just on quantum hypnosis?
Oh, that would be a pleasure, yes.
Thank you. Amazing. We'll talk about that in the future. And the other question that I had is, during your hypnotic sessions, have you ever encountered either aliens or people that have had experiences with aliens?
No, I haven't worked with aliens specifically because I haven't asked for them to come through. But what is kind of a normal is like dead people pop in, entities pop in, or there are entities in the people that I can clear. And I just want to share a beautiful story. There was a man and he came to me, and afterwards I had a friend of mine and I put her lots of times in hypnosis. So we went, her name is Tanya. And I was bringing in hypnosis and she said, Maya, I can't go. There is a dark energy in the room and it's pushing me against the wall. I said, okay, let's get out of the room and let's go on the couch here in the living room. And I continued and she went, Maya, it is looking around the corner. It's still there. I can't do it today. Bring me out. And I was imagining that this black energy was looking around the corner like this, and I really had to laugh. So I said to this, I brought it back into the room. I said, you go back into the room. I did a black stone with a pyramid in front of the door that it couldn't go anywhere. And then I went to the Massinas, bought me Ferrero Rocher ice cream. I needed an ice cream. And I said, I ate the ice cream. And then I took a chair, knocked on the door, put the chair down in the middle and said to this, and now we talk. So I talked to these energy and then send it back into transformation. But that was really funny. I found the idea, like it's looking, these things happen. Or there was a dead man popping into a session where, do I have a moment?
Sure, you can finish what you're saying, yes.
Thank you. I had a lady in hypnosis and she went like, Maya, there is something. And I said, whoever is there, go in the corner and wait until I finished with the lady. And then I finished and I asked the lady, can I do it with you, through you? She said, yes. I said, okay, come forward. Who are you? And it came out that it was a man who died. And he was unsure that in life, he actually made sure his wife knew how much he loved her. And he decided to stay with her, to be around, stuffy. Now she passed away. She went straight to the light. But he stuck here on Earth plane, and he got to know somehow that I have a beautiful technique developed to bring people and energies, souls them back to the light. So that all these little things just happen. And when they happen the first time, it's really strange. But then, because before I haven't had the connection to Carl, to Anna, to all the spiritual people where I could talk about it. That had just happened to me and I couldn't talk about it. And now it's nice to talk, but that can also happen.
Maya, do you have a website where people can find you?
Yeah, it's for the animals. It's animal-conversations.com. And on that read under conversation. It's really a verbal conversation while the owner, rider trainer is listening to me having a conversation with the animal. And the other one is elite-hypnosis. So if there's any crap you want to clear out, anything you want to
you're
let
an
go.
animal communicator.
Yain. I use it is a form of animal communication, but it is a conversation because I have a verbal conversation. Like when Carl is now channeling I would talk to his guide, so to say.
We have had an animal communicator, a good friend of mine, who on a past session. So I'm familiar with the work. It's amazing that you do that as well. I think I need to connect you with her because maybe you could refer each other to clients when you need to.
I just read this last sentence. I'm using hypnosis for that.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, that's the difference between a normal communicator. Ask the questions to the animal, gets the answers, give you the answers, but you're not doing anything and you're not taking part. With me, I put you into a hypnosis, I make a triangle constellation, you, me, and your animal, and we do it all together. And when I make a body check, you are actually looking into the physical body of the animal, and you can see what is happening. If there are spots on the liver, or if there is energy in the head, whatever there is, or if there is whatever there is, you can feel it and experience. That's the difference.
Thank you, Maya. We're out of time.
I know.
I have to move on, but appreciate it. Thank you. And I look forward to having further communications with you and learning more about it. We're going to run 5 minutes over time. It's understood if anybody needs to leave at past or whenever. Anna, I'm going to ask you to go next, please. It's good to have you here. It's good to see you.
Hello. All right.
Thank you, Maya.
Yeah, so great to see Maya talking about that. So I am continuing with the rays. Yes, those of you who've been following it, and if you haven't, I've been talking about the 7 rays of God and how they manifest. They're essentially archetypal energies that we all have, but we all have some that are more prominent in us than others. And you can maybe recognize yourself in these different energies as I have been talking about each one. So up till today, I've talked about ray 1, which is the ray of will and power. I talked about ray 2, which is the ray of love and wisdom. I talked about the 3rd ray. Oh, by the way, the first ray is red. The second ray is blue. The 3rd ray is yellow, which is the ray of active intelligence. The last one I spoke about is the 4th ray, which is the ray of harmony through conflict. And that was emerald green. And today I'm going to talk about ray 5. The color is orange, and it is the ray of the concrete mind. And I was really thinking about this because I know a lot of people who are like this. I'm not particularly like this. So this is the ray of science and research. So a person like this is very, very sharp-witted, very smart, very, very intellectual, and they also really love details. They're very, very detail oriented, and they really appreciate accuracy. And this ray is very mental. It's connected to the mental body. At this time, a lot of people are very much in their mental bodies, right? They kind of get stuck in their mental bodies. And the thing with this ray is that when you combine it in a way, when you embody it in a way that's open to your intuition, and then you are able to sort of transcend this ray and like bring it into its highest expression. Because if you're stuck in the mind, obviously it prevents you from tuning into your intuition, and it also makes it harder to do like esoteric work like we're talking about today. So when a 5th ray person is able to embrace the spiritual path, then they become really much a force to be reckoned with, because they can understand spirituality in a way that people who are not so fifth ray are, right? So yes,
What color is the ray?
this one is orange.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So they're very important. Fifth ray people are very important. One of the reasons is that most people live their lives in their emotional body, right? We respond to things emotionally. And that cuts them off from the fifth ray energy. So it's learning how to balance this energy and to use it to balance your emotional body is very key. So when we talk about, for example, managing our emotions, stalking the self, as we talk about in shamanism, really monitoring our thoughts and so on, so that we can manifest what we want to manifest. That's actually, you could say, using the fifth ray energy. Okay. So meditation is very, very important for people who are of the fifth ray, because then it helps them align all of these different things and balance them. A person who is on the fifth ray, really, the truth is very important to them. Okay, the truth is very important to them. Accuracy is very important to them. They tend to be very full of knowledge. If you know anybody who just seems to know so much about so many things in great detail, I can think of at least one person on this call today who's like this. People who really just know so much about everything, and they understand it, and they get the details, and it's really, really important for them to understand it. That's a fifth ray person. There is a danger with the fifth ray, and that is becoming pedantic. Okay. Too focused on trivial details instead of maybe seeing the big picture. So that's one thing that, if you're on the fifth ray, you have to kind of become aware of. When I think of fifth ray people, I think of engineers, chemists, alchemists, people who know how things work. They understand how I said engineer, a surgeon, right? A brain surgeon. That's very fifth ray. It's very rare for an artist to be on the fifth ray. Okay, because it doesn't, very different energies. A fifth ray person is, when they approach spirituality, it's very much in a way through scientific method, trial and error, right? And doing studies, seeing what works, learning how things work. That's very important to them. They're very, very good at getting to the essence of something, the essence and the core of things. What else do I want to say about it? Unconditional love. Yeah. The thing about fifth ray people is, you wouldn't necessarily think it because it's so, but they are very much coming from a space of unconditional love and service to the planet. So I think of this ray as, it's a very highly, in its highest expression, there's something almost of the enlightened extraterrestrial about it. When you think of these extraterrestrial beings who are so good at understanding how things work, and they have all this technology, but they're also very loving beings, like the Syrians and the Pleiadians and all of that. Think of that as very fifth ray. What else? The special virtues, I'm just going to read this. The special virtues of the fifth ray include making strictly accurate statements, justice, common sense, independence, and keen intellect. The not so good aspects, the things that need to be worked on, are harsh criticism, being narrow, too narrow, arrogance, unforgiving temper, lack of sympathy and reverence and prejudice. And to the virtues that one who is on the fifth ray would want to acquire are devotion, sympathy, love, and wide-mindedness. So I really, it's funny because I have one of my oldest friends. She's a professor. She so embodies this ray, but more in like the negative ways. She's extremely pedantic, and I just think it's very, very interesting that when she's able to access the higher version of it, then she kind of shifts into a different place. So it's a really interesting ray, and it's just extremely important. So concrete science, research, keen intellect, attention to detail, and truthfulness are the energies of the fifth ray. And yeah, that's what I'd like to talk about today. I don't know if there's time for questions or anything, but let me know.
We have 2 minutes for questions if anybody has any.
If you have any, if not, we can move on.
Okay, so orange, I know has an association with the robes, like the saffron robes that the monks wear.
Mm-hmm.
I wondered, because they're kind of divine intellectuals in a way, aren't they? They're very kind of like knowledgeable when they meditate.
And they're not in their emotional body, right? They know how to get out of their yeah, you could say that they can achieve this highest expression of the fifth ray, definitely. Well, it says that wherever there's a lot of fifth ray energy, there'll be a lot of new age churches and new thought. But when you think about like new thought, it's really based on old thought. So, like what the monks know. So that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Well, thank you, Anna.
You're welcome.
Just one question. I'm just curious, how do the rays relate to like people's astrological makeup? Because a lot of what we hear sounds similar to what you might describe, as somebody's sun sign or their moon sign.
Yeah. Well, actually, when I was reviewing this material for tonight, I was thinking so much of the Aquarius, people who are Aquarius. Aquarian energy to me is very much fifth ray, because Aquarians really love figuring things out and understanding how things work, and they're very cerebral and all of that. So I think, one could look at each of the rays and sort of think of some signs that would maybe be associated with each one. There isn't anything that I have found that directly correlates them. I haven't found anything like that. But tonight's in particular, I just immediately was thinking Aquarius and Virgo, but particularly Aquarius. Yeah. Interesting question. But I've never found anything that has anything with a direct correlation between them. Yeah.
So just to promote Anna's website, it's Integrated Soul Healing.
No. It's Anna-Pavlakis.readlysite.com. I'll put it in the chat.
Tell me again.
Anna-Pavlakis. Well, -Pavlakis.weebly.site.com. Weebly. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay, and I just wanted to share Maya's www.animal-communications.com and www.elitehypnosis.com. So Weebly is spelled WEEBLYSITE.com. Anna-Pavlakis at Weebly site.
Or just Google me.
Yes.
I'm all over.
Thank you, Anna. Carl, I'm going to come to you now. And would it be okay if once you go into trance that I ask Katarang questions?
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay. And obviously there will be a chance for anybody else to have questions, but I have actually some questions prepared.
Good. I think it makes it easier for both of us, because
Okay,
then
great.
I don't have to worry what he's going to talk about, and neither does he. So
Excellent. And I'm going to time this so that it's 10 minutes from when you're in trance.
okay. So you just like give a ping or something to let me
Yes.
know, mention it.
An alarm will go off. 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anybody who hasn't seen me work before that I need to explain what I'm doing? I don't think so.
No.
No, I think we don't. Doesn't take long, so. Okay. Just bringing the energy a little more first. Katarang here. Okay, we're ready to go. Yes.
Thank you. Hello, Katarang. Good to have you here again. I have some questions for you.
Yes. We're interested to hear your question. We like question. It
Great.
makes us think, makes us explore also our own understanding of different topics.
Fantastic. Thank you. So my first question, are the beings in the spiritual realms aware of us at all times? And is there such a thing as privacy?
Oh, yes. Well, interesting question. I could say it's kind of yes and no, because we are busy people, you know. We are busy people. So most of the time we now don't have time, we don't have interest to go looking at you, shaving, washing your hair, doing your other stuff. But if we want to, we can, because there is no barrier between our spiritual vibration and the earth's slower vibration. Where we are standing, we are able to overcome many of the, what you could say, are physical hindrances. So we connecting on an energetic level, and we perceiving on an energetic level. And maybe some of this perception is emotional, and some of it is like through spiritual sight we could see, and we are seeing things differently. So if we choose, we can tune into you and be aware of what is going on for you at that particular time. We will see things differently to you, of course, because our eyes are spiritual eyes. So we may not perceive colors in the same way, or texture in the same way, or relate to certain activities in the same way. But we can have an awareness of what is within your energy field, what was in your experiential environment. But mostly we are not bothered. Mostly we are working in spiritual terms, either in sessions like this, or directing our energy to help raise the vibration of your planet, or to heal certain things, or for education within our own spiritual realm. So we are not watching you.
Okay, understood. Understood. Thank you.
It is easier for when you need our help. Then we just have to switch our focus. And that is why, in answer to this channel, we are always available, because we are our spatial and time relationship is different. So although we are acting in our own environment in multiple ways, we can have an aspect of our awareness connected to your environment, and so we can be always readily available. So when you call on your guides and other spiritual helpers, do not be concerned they are not available, because they are always available and they have multifaceted experiential, you could say, opportunities. So you are not distracting them from other activities either.
Thank you. My next question is, can spiritual beings be in more than one place at any one time? Can they bilocate?
Okay. So, very good question. I would say in answer to this question, and also my channel has some knowledge, so I have to be, how you say, honest and say we are combining the information to answer you. Some spiritual beings can. So if you are thinking of projecting an image or manifesting a physical, substantial body that can be touched and sensed and prodded, these are different ways of expressing energetic energy in the third dimensional universe that you call your planet. And it is possible for those of a high degree of spiritual awareness and understanding of how to work with the different vibrations and frequencies of matter, of light, of sound. And this requires very expert knowledge and training. So it is not your average ability for anyone in spirit. Only those who are highly evolved and have, shall we say, learned how to tap into the universal source of energy very profoundly. So they have the ability to draw on this energy, to manipulate light energy and frequencies so as to create that image or that physical manifestation in one place in front of you or in front of many people. So it is a very, very, very rare skill and has been known amongst highly enlightened beings, but not for your general person, your general spirit guide. I cannot do this. Maybe in 1,000 lifetimes I will have the ability.
Understood. Okay, I think my final question is it through telepathy that we can contact beings such as yourself?
Interesting. For me, I would say no, because for me, telepathy is a different vibration and more akin to working with psychic energies and more likely to be found in your three-dimensional world, where things are vibrating at slower level and everything is a bit more dense and heavy. For us, I would say it is, we have to think of a new word. I would not use the word telepathy because it is more like an energy, an energetic connection. How can I describe it?
Is it thought?
It is thought and feeling, but it is of a higher vibrational quality. And I'm trying to think of, so for example, let's say you are a small sphere of ice, and you have a large bowl of water. And you are gradually softening the ice, melting it is almost become water. This is you refining your energetic processes. This is you building your energy body doing energy exercise to cleanse, raise your vibration, and so on and so on. And then when that ice, you drop it into the water, but it is so close to being melted, now it dissolves into the water. This is how you communicate with spirit. The interface disappears because now you're at the same vibration. And it is not exactly thought, but it is a sharing of understanding, a sharing of energy, and through that connection, knowledge passes. So it is like thought, but beyond thought, if that makes sense.
Yes, it makes a lot of sense. Thank you. The ice analogy was fantastic. Thank you. I have many more questions for you, but unfortunately we're out of time. So I will please ask you on the next session if we could continue this conversation where I can ask you some more questions.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so we will offer our love. And
We send our love as well.
Because we are like that ball of water, and you are like those small spheres that have melted and merged with our energy, with the energy of spirit, we can reach out and touch you with our love.
Bless
and
you.
if you raise your vibration, you can feel our love.
Thank you so much.
And we share with you our love and our blessing.
Send our love and our blessings to you too. Thank you.
Okay.
Much appreciated, Kataran. Thank you. And thank you, Carl, for being a channel for this energy. Thank you, everybody, for attending Sacred Segments. I'm going to close this session with asking you all to name something that you are grateful for in your lives. I will start and then I'll go around this group. I am grateful for days where there is nothing to do.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love those days.
Anna.
I am grateful to live somewhere where there's abundant, beautiful produce available to me, beautiful fruits and vegetables, as well as other wonderful food products that nourish me along with the sun. So I'm grateful for the nourishment that I receive here from this land.
Lovely, thank you. Christopher.
Sorry, I have a companion.
He's beautiful. Hello.
You see Monty? Who's that?
No.
What's his name?
Monty.
Hello, Monty.
And I am grateful for the patient I had in the hospital years ago, decades ago, called Montague. And this is why I named this dog Montague. This man had the bilateral stroke and he died very shortly after I met him, but he was incredibly kind and generous to me. So my gratitude is to him.
Do you work in a hospital?
I used to many decades ago.
Okay. Doing what?
I was an auxiliary. So
okay.
One-to-one patient care. So,
that's lovely. That explains a lot about your kindness. Thank you.
Thank you.
Denise, we haven't heard much from you today, and hopefully we'll hear from you and more about your work on a future Sacred Segments. I'm going to invite you to do a segment next time if you wish.
That would be lovely. Thank you.
Great.
Go
ahead.
Ever since Ellie did that meditation, I've just been really sleepy. I am grateful for my daughter. She's amazing.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you. Maya. You're muted. Could you unmute? We can't hear you.
I said I'm very thankful for you guys because I can be myself in front of you just freely and happily.
That's lovely. Thank you for the joy that you shared this evening. We could feel it. We could feel your excitement and the joy that you shared. Thank you.
And thank you for giving me the space, Alexis.
I look
and
forward
holding
to.
the space for us.
I look forward to more. Thank you, Maya. Carl?
I want to say I'm grateful for sound and music and the sound of the birds in the garden and the ability to listen to glorious music. It always lifts my heart. Even when I'm down, if I listen to sad music, it still lifts me. So I'm grateful for the gift of music and sound.
Oh, gorgeous. Well, as a singer, I very much appreciate that. Thank
I'm
you.
a singer too, you know. But
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
I'd love to hear you sometime.
I'd send you a recording when we're doing our next concert.
Please do, yeah. Thank you for a lovely session, everyone. It was beautiful. And thank you to all those that aren't here as well. We join with them, and recording will be available soon. Thank you, everybody. Have a beautiful rest of the day, and I look forward to seeing you all soon.
Bye.
Lots of love. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Love you too. Bye. Thank you, Katarang.